Hello, everybody. How are you guys doing on today? I am super duper excited because I get to hang out with Jill Kemerer again. She's back at the cafe, guys. She has a new one for us. It is hot off the press. First of all, it has an adorable cover. Check out that cover. It is called The Cowboy's Easter Surprise. Oh my goodness, guys. This book is an amazing, amazing read. If you haven't already, like, tag, and share. Tell a friend to come on down to the cafe because we're hanging out with award-winning author Jill Kimmerer on today. And not only that, guys, let me tell you, she just might spill a little bit of tea about this amazing, amazing story. And of course, we will be sharing with you how you can get your hands on a copy of this book, and it's available in ebook. It's available in print as well. Hello, Tanya. Thank you so much for joining us on today as well. Now, Jill, for some of those who may not know you, my friend, introduce yourself to the people.
Well, I am Jill Kemerer. I write contemporary Christian romance for Love Inspired, and I live near Toledo, Ohio. It's been really cold, but this week it's been in the 60s, so I feel
Ooh.
good.
I love that. I love that. I know where I am. The weather has been like crazy. Like it'll be like in the 60s. I think one day it was like in the 70s, and then it dropped back down to like the 40s. So it's just kind of been like all over the place. Today, where I am, it's been in the 60s as well. So, guys,
Love
thank
it.
you so much for joining us. And of course, guys, if you have a comment or a question, definitely put that into the comment section as well. You know, here at the cafe, we like to be interactive as well. And you never know, Jill may answer your question or she may spill some tea, depending on what your question is as well. Tanya said that she is excited and she loves cowboy things. Tanya, me too. Can't you tell? Can't you tell, girl? I love a good cowboy story as well. And so, Jill, that leads me into my next question. We're gonna talk about the cover a little bit, but before we do, we have to talk about this title, The Cowboys Easter Surprise. Okay, first of all, yes, you had me at Cowboys,
Oh,
or what
thank
have you,
you.
but was this Jill's original working title, or did it come along later? Tell us about the title.
It was not the working title. I
Oh,
don't honestly remember what the working title was now, but our at my editing team, I gave them a bunch of titles and they came up with this one and I loved it. I'm like,
I
yes.
love it. I love the title too as well. Sorry about that. Now, of course, Jill, I am sure you have been getting comments after comments about this adorable cover. Okay. So
Yes.
tell us about the cover and what was that like when you saw your final cover for the Cowboys Easter surprise? And y'all check it out in paperback as well. Oh my goodness.
I got so excited when I saw the preview cover. It was like, oh, it was the cutest thing. The little girl, the bunny. I mean, I love cowboys. I love children. I love pets. I love rabbits. I love spring. So to me, it had everything. I was thrilled.
I love that. I love that. Guys, if you're just joining us, hanging out with author Jill Kimmerer on today. And Jill, one of the things about this story is, yeah, it has all the feels and it has some of those things that you named. I mean, there's puppies. If you love puppies, you got
I
horses, you
know.
got cowboys. I mean, just all these good things in this story as well. Now, I want to ask you this, Jill. What inspired? Spill some tea, my friend. What inspired the
Okay.
Cowboys Easter surprise?
Okay, you're gonna laugh, but this is part of a six-book series. And when I originally pitched the ideas, it had no children. It had him have it had Trent having this horse boarding, he was going to be the manager for the horse boarding, but there wasn't enough going on in it. And my editor said, "Hey, we need to rework this one." And instantly I was like, okay, there's going to be three little girls and I don't know how they're going to fit in there. And then I fit them in there and it was so much fun. So that's kind of sometimes how the ideas come is you have something originally, it doesn't work and it forces you to go back to the table. And I'm so
Wow.
glad because this is a way better book than the original thought that I had.
Wow. Okay, now, Jill, you did spill some tea, but you have to share with us what was that like writing those three precious little girls? Oh my goodness. And they were what, like 4, 7, and what was the ages? 4, 7,
I think
somewhere
4,
around there.
yeah,
The
4,
fun age.
7, 9. They were
4,
all,
7, 9. Yes.
yeah, it was 2, 2, and 3, I think, years apart. It was really easy. Some books are just hard for me to write. They need more research, or maybe just I'm not really sure about the, like the theme, and it's coming to me as it goes along. This one, those girls just took over. Gracie, the heroine, came in, and it was just like, oh, this just I felt like I was watching a movie, and the movie was telling it to myself. It was easy.
I love that. I love that. Oh my goodness. And speaking of the little girls, let's talk about their characters as well. Even with the little girls or what have you, for you in writing them, did you kind of plot out their characteristics? How did that come about?
Well, I've just spent a lot of time around kids my whole life. So I didn't overthink it. They just kind of came to me. I have a lot of cousins. I have a sister myself. I have, my sister has 3 daughters, and these girls are not taking after her daughters by any means. But I don't know, just for some reason, they just kind of came to me. And I was very happy about that, because not all characters just come to me.
I love it. And I love how they each had their own personalities, their own
Mhm.
characteristics, or what have you. And one of the scenes is kind of at the beginning that pull at your heartstrings is when they're with the first babysitter or the first nanny,
Mhm.
and they're and I love how they bond together, but they tell their uncle, they like, we're not going back.
Mm-mm.
They're like,
No.
we're not going back. And in his mind, he's like, we don't really have a choice right now. Like, I gotta work, all this good
I
stuff is true.
know.
But for you, let's start with Noelle's character. How would you describe her for us?
Oh, Noelle's the youngest, and she's that little, innocent sweetheart that's trying to keep up with her sisters and can't. And, you just, that age, those 4-year-olds, they just melt your heart. Yeah.
And no, and Noelle's one of those characters like, you gotta love her.
Yeah.
She's just
Yeah.
so cute
She
and
just
precious.
loves, loves, loves everything.
Yes, yes. And
Yeah.
now let's talk about Emma. Now, Emma was the oldest, correct?
Yes.
Emma, yeah. Let's talk
Yes.
about her because y'all, let me just tell you, you would love Emma as well. And she is all for taking care of her little sisters and,
Oh, yeah.
that responsibility. But what would you say about Emma's character?
I would say Emma is the 9-year-old mom. She's used to wrangling the girls. She's in charge, and she's getting it done.
Yes.
Yeah. But she's got
And
a little insecurity too, because she's a normal 9-year-old.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
And we cannot forget about Sadie, who's in the middle. Tell us
Yeah.
about Sadie's character.
Well, she's the quieter one, very intellectual, kind of hard to read. And Trent, as the story goes on, he realizes he has kind of misread her many times. So her sisters and Gracie kind of help him understand Sadie better. And I don't know, she's just such a sweetheart too. I just loved her.
No, we just talked about the kids, and we're going to get to the other characters, guys. But let me just tell you again, you will fall in love with these 3 girls, or what have you. And when you think about these 3 girls in the Cowboys Easter Surprise, and again having to build their characteristics, build a story around them, or what have you, what was that like for you as an author with writing children in your books?
I love kids. I like writing kids. Not all of my books have kids by any means, but
Mhm.
in this book, they just had to be there, because there was no way the hero and the heroine could have gotten together without them. Like it was not going to happen unless these girls were there.
Yes. Now, Jill, and guys, this is kind of at the beginning, so Jill, she may spill a little bit of tea about it, but Jill, I loved reading the part of the book when they had a say in who their nanny would be, and
Yes.
guys, they after they meet Gracie or what have you,
Mhm.
they kind of go in like a little huddle. Like they, they're conversating, like, like, is this what we want? But
Yeah.
that was like the cutest scene. What was that like for you to write that scene? And I love
Oh,
how it also gave them a voice.
yeah.
To make them feel like, because God, they had kind of left a bad situation where they weren't too happy. Remember, I told you they said they were
Yeah.
not going back. So what was that like for you?
Well, I think it was just the moment that Trent realized I don't want this, but these girls do, and I've got no other choices. I've got to do this. So
Yes.
it was fun. Like I actually laughed every time. You have to read a book over and over when you're editing. Every time I just kind of giggled. I'm like, ooh, look at them.
I love it. I love
Yeah.
it. And you shared a little bit that like you laughed when you were in the midst of writing their characters or reading about their characters and what have you. I want for you to share with us, for you, it sounds like it was fun to write their characters, but if you could kind of spill a little bit of tea for us with the three girls, did they just kind of come to you like easily, like their conversations, was that kind of like an easy write for you when it came to writing scenes with them?
Yeah, they each have such unique personalities that their wording just made sense to me. Like Noelle isn't going to talk like Emma because their personalities are so different, and Sadie isn't going to say much at all. So, it just was very natural.
I love that. I love that. Guys, if you're just joining us, we are hanging out with author Jill Kimmerer on today, guys, and it is hot off the press. Her new book is called The Cowboy's Easter Surprise. It is a good one. Let me just tell you, it's a tell a friend to tell a friend. You can buddy read this one, all of that good stuff. And hold tight because we will be sharing with you how you can get a copy of The Cowboy's Easter Surprise. It's available in ebook, it's available in print. So whatever suits your fancy. And of course, guys, if you're just joining us, don't forget to like, tag, and share. Tell a friend to tell a friend. If you have a question or two for Jill, definitely put that in the comment section as well. Now, Jill, of course, you got to talk about Trent. He is the hero in this particular story. What can you tell us about Trent's character?
Well, Trent is just a stand-up guy. He is a cow. He's pretty much a cowboy. He's not used to being around kids. He's definitely not used to being around little girls. But from what I'm gonna share in a little bit, you're gonna see right away that he knows that these girls are wrapped around his finger, and he really doesn't have a problem with that.
Right.
But he needs a woman's touch to help him kind of be a little less I don't know what the word is, not strict, but he just has these high expectations that life just doesn't always pan out that way.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, of course, we have to talk about Gracie's character. Oh my goodness, guys.
Oh, yeah.
It was and guys, and she tells you at the beginning, so it's not spilling too much tea or what have you. Let's just say, Gracie kind of was from around the way. She was a little rough around the edges, but she has changed. She has changed from the person that Trent knew in high school. Of course, he only had like 1 year with her because he was a senior when she was a freshman. But that's kind of like the perception that he has of her, and he's kind of like battling, like, okay, for this to work, I have to trust her, but he's on that but, and then she's on this new thing where she has turned over a new leaf. She's moved back to her hometown, which is a small town, by the way, guys. We love small town, all that good stuff as well. But what can you tell us about Gracie's character?
Well, I could really relate to Gracie because, I'm not perfect and I have my own past. We all do. I think we can feel shame with things that we did when we were younger. And then we grow up and we learn and we trust in God and we say, I'm not going to be like that anymore. And that's really where she's at when the story starts.
Yeah.
And she realizes as the book goes on that she just was very insecure, and
Yeah.
she can find that security in Jesus. So
Yes. And Jill, I love how you wrote it, but I love how throughout the book, when she kind of have those moments where
mhm.
she'll talk to God, she'll talk to you, she'll have her conversations with him. I mean, there's even a scene like after Trent. I mean, in he kind of little overreacted a little bit, but
He
even
did.
when he left, she kind of had that. She was like, "Okay, okay, God, I'm gonna need you to deal with that because
Yeah.
like, I love these little girls. I mean, already, guys, she fell in love with the little girl. She was like, and I feel like, I've been placed to help take care of these precious little girls. But the uncle, okay, I'm gonna need you to kind of help me with him.
Yeah. And isn't that the truth, though? That's just kind of relationships,
Yes, yes. But that's one of the things that I did enjoy about her characters, how she would have her conversations with God and say, okay, I don't think you kind of brought me here to kind of, I'm gonna need your help.
Yeah.
Which sometimes we have to remind ourselves that we do need his help
Yes. Every day through it
every
all,
day. Yes,
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
Guys, if you're just joining us, it's the Cowboys Easter surprise that we are talking about with Jill Kemerer. And in just a moment, she will be reading a short snippet with us, as well as we'll be sharing with you how you can get your hands on a copy of this adorable, adorable story that you would definitely enjoy. It is a story with all the feels as well. Now, when you think about writing small town, because y'all already know what small town. I mean, you got nosy neighbors, everybody know everybody's business, all that good stuff that comes with small town that we enjoy. I mean, even with him trying to find a nanny, I mean, it was such a small town where it was just like, it was almost like word of mouth, and at one point everybody was busy. It was like, okay, we'll try to help you out when we can, but right now everybody's busy, but there's Gracie French, or what have you. But what was that like for you, or what do you enjoy about writing small town?
I grew up in a small town, and I live in a small town, so I just enjoy that dynamic. Everybody is there is a community. Everybody knows each other. You can count on each other. And
Yeah.
yes, people get gossipy, including me. But at the end of the day, you want to come together and help each other out.
Yeah. I love that. I love that. And I love a good small town. I do. When you think about all of the characters, oh my goodness, you gotta love Miss Ann. Is it from the bakery?
Yes.
Is it
Yep.
was it the bakery
Annie's
that yes.
Bakery.
What can you tell us about her character? Oh my
Well, if you are familiar with the series, it's the Wyoming Legacies series. You'll know that Anne was in the second book, United by the Twins, I think it was called. And she was the mom of the hero in that story. So we got to see her personality throughout the series. And there she is, Noelle's in there with Trent, and she just knows exactly what cupcake she needs or cookie. And, that's just like so sweet. That's just the sweetest thing. I have aunts, and, they would do the same thing. They would be like, oh, you need this. And I don't know, she just kind of reminds me of some of my aunts.
I love that. And yeah, I'm with author Sharon Blunt. She was like, she loves small town, love how they are there for each other. That is true. When it all boils down to it, in a small town, they are there for each other as well. You have Waletta Dunn. She is also love a good small town read as well. Now, I want to ask you this, Jill, for some of those who may not be familiar with the Wyoming Legacy series. Of course, they may be wondering, like, if they just came upon the Cowboys Easter surprise and they started reading, is that okay? And then they can go back, or should they read it in order? What would you say to that reader who just came upon this series?
The books don't need to be read in order. You can read them in any order. There might be a few spoilers, if you read them later, you're going to find out, oh, these two are together. But yeah, they're all standalone. And there is one more book coming out in July 1st, and it's going to be his new companion. So it's technically a canine companions book, but it does feature one of the characters who's been throughout the series too. So
wow.
yeah.
Look, thank you, Jill, for spilling the tea.
Yeah.
Spilling the tea.
I'm
And Jill,
excited
for
about it.
that person who may be new to the Wyoming Legacy series, can you share with us tonight what inspired this whole series? Because this is book 5, right? The Cowboys Easter Surprise is book 5 in the series.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is
Yes.
the 5th one.
Can you share with them what inspired the series?
Yeah, I was trying to come up with something unique for me to pitch to Love Inspired, and I thought about it really. I had two characters who were kind of spun off from my previous series. They were two sisters, Erica Black and can't think of the other girl's name right now. She was in book two, Reagan. And I knew what they wanted. I wanted them to be in this series. And then I thought, well, what's going to bring everybody else together? So I came up with this legacy club based that the very first book, Erica, she moves to town, she inherited a ranch, and she brings people together in this legacy club so that they can make the town, vibrant again. And that's really where all the main characters come from, is this legacy club. And it's just been really fun to write. I enjoyed it a lot.
I love it. I love it. And Jill, can you share with us what is it that you enjoy about writing series? I know for me as a reader, I totally enjoy the community. I totally enjoy it's almost like the individuals in the series, they become family or what
Yeah.
have you. But what do you enjoy about writing a series?
Well, same thing. For me, they become a family. I love these recurring characters that pop up in the books. There's two in particular throughout the series. One is Christy Moulton. She's in there from the beginning. She's the mom of two of the heroes. And then Clem, I believe his last name's Buckley. I should know this. But Clem is this hard-nosed, old rancher, just tough as nails. Everybody's afraid of him. But every single book, he says stuff that's so off the wall. And then you see that he's kind of the softy underneath it. So I don't know. I really enjoy just revisiting everybody. And like every time I'm going to start a new book, I'm like, oh, I get to be with them again,
I love that. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing. Now,
Yeah.
we talked about the characters a little bit in this book. And Jill, when you think about all the characters that make up the Cowboys Easter Surprise, some of the ones that have made appearances from some of the other books or what have you, is there a character that was, kind of like exciting and fun for you to write? And it could be more than one. And then on the flip side, is there a character that was a little more complex? Share that with us.
I think, well, I really enjoyed writing Gracie in this book and the girls. Like I said, she's just not a perfect person, and she is very upfront about that. And I liked that about her. The very first book, the Cowboys Christmas Compromise, I believe it was, they had Erica, and I loved her from the previous series. She's just got this unique personality. So I really enjoyed her. But then Ty Moulton, he's in the next book. Throughout the series, he's like, he never goes to anything. His mom's always saying, oh, well, Ty's supposed to be here at the meeting, and he's never there. And
Right.
then we're gonna see him. So I'm like, Ty, come out of your shell, buddy. So yeah, those were my favorites, I think.
Right. And thank you, y'all. I'm gonna tell you, if you are catching these nuggets, Jill is spilling some tea. I love that. I love that. And Jill, thank you so much for sharing about these particular characters with us. And guys, I'm gonna get it ready to allow Jill. She's gonna set the scene. I know you guys are ready to hear just a little bit of the Cowboys Easter Surprise. And Jill, we are ready when you are, my friend.
Okay. Well, I'm going to start right at the beginning. So, chapter 1. Trent Lloyd sensed mutiny in the air. If he didn't ask any questions, there was a slim chance he'd avoid whatever headache his 3 nieces were preparing to hit him with from the back seat of his truck. One by one, the trio buckled their seatbelts. Click, click, click. The snowy weather couldn't be more miserable for a Monday in the 3rd week of March. That was Jewel River, Wyoming for you, though. Harsh winters were the norm. Trent checked the rearview mirror as he backed out of the babysitter's driveway. 3 blondes with different shades of blue eyes met his gaze in the mirror. None of them looked happy. 9-year-old Emma sat directly behind him. 4-year-old Noelle was kicking her legs from the booster seat in the middle, and 7-year-old Sadie sat in a matching booster seat on the other side of Noelle. We aren't going back there. The 3 of us decided. Emma tended to assume responsibility for her younger sisters. Sadie was more reserved, but her brain never stopped processing information. And little Noelle had Trent wrapped around her pinky finger and tied into a tight bow. All three of them did, really. The girls had been living with him for over a week, and his carefully ordered life had been turned upside down and inside out, leaving him thoroughly shaken. He flicked on the windshield wipers and checked for oncoming traffic before pulling onto the road. Should he ask Emma why? He wasn't thrilled with Mrs. Pine either, but at this point, she was the only person willing to watch Noelle while the other two were in school. After school, Emma and Sadie joined Noelle at Mrs. Pine's, and Trent picked them up at 5. I don't like her. Noelle's outburst held a tint of fear, and he inwardly sighed at the tears sure to be on their way. She's mean. No point in arguing. Mrs. Pine didn't seem to enjoy children much for being a full-time babysitter. She spanked Sammy, and he didn't do anything, Emma huffed. He's only 3. That kid cried and cried, gave Sadie a headache. My head does hurt, Uncle Trent. Sadie's small, pitiful voice made his gut clench. Not Sadie, too. He glanced back again. Sure enough, his middle niece was on the verge of tears. Noelle reached over to hold Sadie's hand. And she smokes surrogates. Noelle's lower lip plumped out. It's yucky. Cigarettes, Noelle, Emma said sharply. She smokes cigarettes. Well, I don't like them. They stink. Make me want to throw up. Mrs. Pine smoked? Trent grimaced. This wasn't a good development. His brother, technically his stepbrother, would not be okay with the girls being exposed to secondhand smoke, nor would Kevin allow the girls to be physically disciplined by anyone but himself. None of this was sounding good.
Guys, there you have it. Okay, talk about hit you with a headliner. I'm telling you, once you start reading that, you will not want to put these books down. And I love how Jill, like I said, the 3 little girls, they capture your attention right at the beginning, or what have you. So thank you so much for sharing that with us. And guys, just hold tight, just a little while longer. We'll be sharing with you how you can get your hands on a copy of the Cowboys Easter Surprise. And so, Jill, we're gonna do something a little different tonight. Instead of this or that, we're gonna do a little word association, and they are giving you love for the snippet that you read. Tanya is saying that she loved it as well. We're gonna do some word association. I'm gonna say a word or a phrase, and then you can spill a little bit of tea to share with us as much as you like about the word association. And then Helen also said the entire series sounds so good. Helen, you are in for a treat with this series as well. Okay, let's start. First up is opposite attract.
Ooh, I love opposites attract. Okay, here's a little, I'm not spoiling much, but Gracie and Trent, back in high school, she was a freshman, he was a senior. It was the last day of school. Yes. Trent is Mr. Upstanding, Gracie, wild child. That kind of set the stage for this whole book. And there was something that Trent said to her that was so sweet that stuck with her all those years. And that really was the key for these opposites to attract.
Yes, I love that. I love that. Okay. And you may have shared this a little bit more, but there is a case of a sudden daddy romance in here, because remember, guys, he has his 3 nieces. So what can you tell us about that sudden daddy romance?
Trent is used to horses and managing horse barns and being with horses and men. He is not around women. And all of a sudden he has 1 week because his brother, who is he's in a government position that technically doesn't exist. So he's on a mission, can't be with the kids. So in 1 week, his life turns upside down, and he's now the dad to 3 little girls for a whole year. So his world just went woo. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Jill, I'm telling you, you are spilling the tea, and I am so here for it. Okay. You ready for the next one? Puppies.
Puppy. Okay. So guys, I'm going to give you a confession. There is not a bunny in the book, but we can count the Easter bunny, but there was a puppy, because Noelle is the typical 4-year-old who just is desperate for a puppy. And that's all she says. I want a puppy. I want a puppy. I want a puppy. And Gracie's like, maybe you should just get her a puppy. And so there is an Easter surprise there. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. And of course, this is the last one. We got to talk about it. There are horses.
Oh, yeah. So the horses, a lot of times are just, kind of there in a story. But this time, it's a horse boarding operation. That is a key factor in this story. And I'm not going to give away anything more, but just know
You got to get
that it provides some drama.
I love it. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness.
Thank
You
you.
spill some tea with those word associations. I love that, Jill. I love that. Guys, if you're just joining us, hanging out with Jill Kemerer, guys, it is hot off the press. It is called the Cowboys Easter Surprise. It's a part of the Wyoming Legacy series, but you can read it out of order or what have you. You do not want to miss this one as well. And of course, guys, there is a giveaway on tonight. I'm going to allow Jill Kemerer to share with us what her giveaway is going to be.
Well, it's going to be one signed copy of this little bad boy here. US, if you're international, I will send you the link and you can download an ebook.
I love it. There you have it, guys. It will be a autographed copy if you are in the US, an autographed copy of the Cowboys Easter Surprise. Of course, if you are not, there will be options for you to get the ebook of this particular book as well. And Helen said that she loved cowboy stories, so she is ready to dive in. I love a good cowboy story too, Helen, as well. Okay, so I am getting ready to go up and down the comment section. My friend Jill Kemerer, she's gonna help me. She's gonna tell me when to stop, and then that person will be the winner of the Cowboys Easter Surprise. Okay, let's go. I'm ready when you are.
Okay, go. And
Okay.
stop.
Okay. Tanya Brown Rivers, you are the winner, my friend. And at one of her comments, she said, love it. I think that's when you read of the snippet as well. So Tanya, my friend, if you will inbox me your information, I'll be sure to get that over to Jill Kemerer, and you will receive an autographed copy of the Cowboys Easter Surprise. I love that. I love that. I love that. Oh my goodness, Jill, the time goes by so fast, my friend. Oh my goodness, it's almost our time to say goodbye. But before we do that, I definitely have to ask you this, Jill. Can you share with us, my friend, what did you enjoy about writing the Cowboys Easter Surprise?
It was just such a breath of fresh air writing this one. Like I said, it just wasn't difficult. A lot of books I just really struggle with trying to get the plot right and trying to get the characters right. And I just felt like they came to me very easily and I just enjoyed it. I don't know. It was just a lot of fun.
I love that. I love that. Well, thank you so much. And they are telling Tanya congratulations in the comment section as well. You are so welcome, Mary. Thank you so much for joining us on today as well. Now, I want to ask you this, and of course, you have to share with us. How can they get their hands on a copy of the Cowboys Easter Surprise that's available in ebook and print?
Yep. Walmart. I don't know if you have Meyer, Barnes and Noble, Amazon, christianbook.com. You can order it through any major retailer and you can go into the store through probably till the last week of March, it will be in stores. So, and if you get it in stores, a lot of times there's a discount too, at least Walmart.
I love that, guys. And there you have it. You can get your hands on a copy of the Cowboys Easter Surprise. Let me just tell you, you will enjoy this story as well. And of course, Jill, you have to tell us, my friend, how can we stay connected with you?
Oh, well, great. I am on Facebook. It's author Jill Kemerer. I'm on Instagram, Jill Kemerer. I have my website, jillkemerer.com. I post a blog at least once a month, usually posting my goals, what I'm doing that month, and how I did the last month. And I think that's about it. Or my newsletter. You can sign up. You can go to my website and sign up for my newsletter.
I love that, guys. You heard it here. Of course, you can stay connected with her. She has a website. There's a newsletter on her website that you can sign up for, and she does have a blog. She is on Facebook. She's on Instagram, so you can definitely stay connected with her there. And guys, not only that, but after you read the Cowboys Easter Surprise, definitely leave a review. I know that Jill Kimmerer would be so appreciative of you guys leaving a review. And in addition to that, if you see it out in the wild, I definitely take a picture, tag Jill, post it, all of that good stuff as well. Guys, thank you so much for joining us on today. We've had an amazing time. Thank you, Helen. She says, thank you for sharing with us tonight, Jill. I'm excited to read this series and check out your catalog. And she had a great time tonight. Thank you so much, Helen. And yes, even on her website, guys, you can see some of her books, some of her backlist. So you can take a look at that as well. Well, Jill, of course, it has been amazing hanging out with you, my friend. I definitely want to allow you to have the last words of what you want to say to the people tonight.
Well, I really appreciate, first of all, you, Angela, just for having this literary cafe. It means so much to me. And everybody who joined us, I know you had other things you could have done tonight, so it means very much to me that you spent it with us. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you, Jill. Guys, make sure that you follow Jill Kimmerer, and also get you a copy of the Cowboys Easter Surprise. Of course, guys, you can stay connected with me. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel, Angela Anderson's YouTube. You can follow me on Instagram, on Facebook. I do a little TikTok from time to time as well. And guys, that is our show on tonight. And as we always say, have an amazing day, because we're having an amazing day. And until next time, we'll see you later. Be sure to get you a copy of the Cowboys Easter Surprise. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.